What's up, people? One Up Punch here. So Sunkenland came out with a hotfix after version 0.2 hit live, and they were doing a bunch of hotfix stuff, actually remastering Dreadville, as you see here. It's not a rock, or rather, not a rock, rather, but like going up like a couple of staircases to get onto these platforms. It looks like a half broken down building, and you'd go up there and you'd have to, find the machine that gives you the rare parts, kill some of these other bandits that are up there. Instead, it's a whole area now. It's got like these trenches or like these floating platforms that have sandbags. They have two different layers to where they have like a tower on the top of it, and they'll have like barbed wire, and they'll be waiting there for you. Now, normally they won't really spawn when you first initially get into Dreadville, and it does have some FPS problems. That is something that I definitely seen when I got in here. Same thing to Radio Island. When I played that, had a lot of FPS drops I would go on, and, in order to get through it, I had to kill all the NPCs. Now, after that, it wasn't so bad, but still, I hope they kind of deal with the rendering issues that were Dreadville, now remastered, that you're seeing here, and Radio Island that was also remastered when they made it from a small rock to a big rock. That being said, they did add some other things to the hotfix I'm going to talk about right here. For example, inviting friends to join the game no longer requires a password. A navigation bar has been added at the top of the screen, which you see there. They added a compass, which I'm kind of glad that they did this, because it was a real pain in the ass trying to figure out where to go, because you would always have to open up your map, look at like what direction your arrow is pointing. So if you're going to Dreadville, or maybe you're going Metal Mine, you want to go somewhere farther south, like towards the amusement park, whatever, you would have to go look at your map to find what direction you're going, and then you would adjust accordingly. Now that you have a compass showing the different icons and what the map sections are, so if I want to go to, of course, Dreadville, or I want to go to Radio Island, it will show up the icon there, and, as a compass would, the direction of where you're going. That's pretty useful because, like I said, it's a lot better than opening up a map, stop like what I'm doing, whether it be taking the jet ski or trying to use the helicopter, and then just I fall from the sky and explode, or like crash into a rock and take a bunch of durability damage. So that's also a nice thing to have, is that compass on the top portion of the screen. They also unlocked the military backpack, making a change from a blueprint to a research table, meaning that instead of going and finding it in a blueprint, you can unlock it at Tier 4. And Tier 4 is basically having like iron and copper and whatever else you need for that. I have a normal save, as you're seeing here. I have drum barrel magazines for an SMG, for an assault rifle. I have the pump shotgun. I also have about 3 different pistols from the Desert Eagle that has a longer magazine, which is about 30-35 rounds. And then I have a G20 bolt-action rifle and another STG-44. So, I mean, my save that I have right now is a bunch of stuff, and it's just a matter of using it for that, like, update or anything big that pops up, so I could try it, go ahead and unlock it, or if I need to go and find it as a blueprint, then I could show it off on here. So it's easy to have. I do have another save that's on hardcore difficulty, and then another one that I might try on insane, just to let people know how it's like, because they do change their behavior and their different like fighting patterns when it comes down to playing Sunkenland. Now, they're not really smart. They're still kind of idiotic, and they'll get stuck on walls or get stuck on each other. But going down the list of the other things that they added in the game, the developers added this thing to where enemy health now increases when the number of players in the game reaching the maximum health increase limit after 4 players. So what it means is that if you add more players to your game, you're essentially going to add more health to the enemies, and they become more difficult to deal with. Now, it won't be that difficult if you have an assault rifle or an SMG with a 75 mag round clip, so I wouldn't worry too much about it, unless they are like level 5 or 6 and they have the high grade armor. Right now I have the highest grade, which is Spetsnaz armor and the Spetsnaz helmet, so I'm pretty good when it comes down to armor, including the combat knee pads. But going down the list still, they did a number of enemies in Skull Camp was reduced. Weapons can no longer be used with the scroll wheel on the helicopter. Hidden door at Mutant Camp will now remain permanently open once opened. The size of the weapon display board has been reduced. A bug fix, which is the smart trigger, now includes blueprints for alloy and high-tech gun stocks. And then another bug fix, which was eliminated the exploit allowing weapon duplication at the weapon display board. The other thing is that I was showing the machine gun has a crosshair on it. So if you have a fixed machine gun, you have to get the 50 caliber ammunition from the trader, which I already did. And then when you make that, you'll have it in your person and you could shoot the machine gun afterwards, which I did not know about until later on because I wanted to see how the crosshair looked at. So now that I have like about 1,000, if I have any raids that come towards my base, they just get eradicated. But that being said, that's been an update video for Sunkenland. Just want to talk a little bit about the hotfix and show you guys what it looks like in Dreadville. Anyway, I've been One Nut Punch. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later in the next one.